I rambled on for like 11 minutes. It wasn't going to be a no edit Tuesday because there was a lot of pausing and thinking and whatnot. And so I was going to just edit. And when I started to, I had the same audio problems. I'm not sure why, but I thought, well, crap, I'll just redo it and will be a no edit Tuesday. But I don't feel like sort of going through everything again because, to be honest, I'm not sure how interesting it really would be. I will give you a brief little synopsis of the previous video. I talked about how I was drinking beer, how hot it was, and that this summer, because it's so hot and we're setting records and whatnot, it's being compared to the summer of 1980 when we had, record heat and all that. I've already talked about it. But as the mind works by association, as a English professor always said to us, it got me thinking about my dad's Chevette, which then I later drove until it died. In the summer of 1980, I'm not sure we had that. I think we had the van. This big blue van. It was very groovy. So we didn't have the Chevette. It's just now all coming to me. We didn't have the Chevette just then, because I remember my dad did fry an egg on the hood of the van, and it actually did fry, which was pretty cool. And I tried that today. I don't think I left the pan out there long enough to really get hot from the sun, so it was an epic fail. What are you gonna do? It was definitely hot. It was 110 today. So if you're playing at home, keeping score, there it is. But it got me sort of talking about this Chevette that then I drove. And I've talked about this vehicle before and how ugly it was. But, it was my first vehicle. It just had issues. I kind of loved it because it was so ugly and it wasn't treated well, and and then I got it, and I'm sure I didn't treat it any better, but I drove it until the wheels fell off pretty much. But what I remember about the Chevette is, first of all, I know I'm repeating myself because I think I've mentioned this before, that the inside was just hideously ugly. And I still believe to this day that candy apple red and maroon don't go together. They just don't. I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea with white seats. White seats with that were like a vinyl with a cloth stripe that went from the top to the bottom, which was maroon on both sides, and then the red stripe went down the middle. It was just horrible. And in the summer, I would burn my legs on the seat because they would get so hot. I'd have to put a towel down, and then my legs would sweat so bad if I didn't have one. It was an unpleasant ride. And then the seats, the carpet and the dash and everything was maroon, so it got really hot inside. I mean, it might as well have been black. It was good times. But the thing that I did love about it was my dad put this horn in it. And if you've seen, I'm sorry I'm being redundant, but I am. Although I didn't tell the story that I'm about to tell, I don't think I told that. I may have. I just don't remember. I've got 500 videos. I don't remember what I've talked about before, and I have a tendency to tell stories over and over again. So there you go. So the horn played tunes. Play little songs. They were little cartridges you would put in. It was in the glove box, and you'd put the cartridge in, and it played one song. So my dad had 4 or 5 little cartridges. One of them was the Aggie War Hymn, because he went to A&M. Is it the Aggie War Hymn, Pink Panther, La Cucaracha, and Charge were the ones I remember. It seemed like there was a 5th one, but I just don't know what it is. And so when I got it, I really liked the Cucaracha. I thought that was fun. And the Pink Panther. I probably played those the most. But when I got to college, I don't know, I think it was my freshman year. my boyfriend and I, we were driving around town. I don't remember the circumstances or even when it was, but somehow we kind of got injected into a parade. Somehow, briefly. I don't know what the parade was. But I decided it would be fun to play the Pink Panther. I think that's what it was. Whilst in the parade, briefly. Much to the chagrin of my boyfriend, who was mortified that I was doing this. And I don't know. So the song played for as long as you held the button down. So I held the button down because it was on the right side, just below the steering wheel, and I had my knees up so I could steer. We were going really slow, so it was all good. And then I'm waving out the window with my other hand, like a mental patient, playing the song. But we only went like a block or two before we turned out of the parade. I don't even remember what the parade was for. It probably would have been a good idea to know, but I didn't. And I think we accidentally sort of got in it. I really remember the circumstances. I know, right? More beer. Oh dear. Okay, so I don't really like beer that much. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna go because I don't want to have to do this again, and hopefully it will take. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.